Each year during the month of June, Hopkins County Crime Stoppers spotlights the accomplishments made during this past year. Since 1989, when a group of concerned citizens came together to form the Crime Stoppers program, we have literally become the eyes and ears of law enforcement across the Hopkins County community. Through the efforts of our Crime Stoppers program, we have established our Neighborhood Watch program, which has been on a state level honored by Homeland Security. Also, our Not in My School program, which was established in our middle schools and high schools, and our anti-bullying campaign that we have partnered with the Board of Education to bring into fruition. Our commitment to our young people is a vital part of our program. I'm happy today to recognize Sergeant Ryan Clark of the Madisonville Police Department, who serves as our Crime Stoppers coordinator, who will present our updated statistics. I also want to take this opportunity to recognize our Board of Crime Stoppers Board of Directors, who are doing an excellent job, who are present also today. Following Sergeant Clark will be Superintendent of Schools, Mrs. Dee Dee Ashby, followed by the Hopkins County Judge Executive, Donnie Carroll, Sheriff Matt Sanderson of Hopkins County, our Madisonville Police Major Robert Carter III will follow him, and finally we will have the Honorable Mayor of our city, Mayor David Jackson, in that order.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out to this. So basically, I'm going to talk about our numbers from 2016 compared to what we have right now. In 2016, we had 191 total tips for Crime Stoppers. And out of those tips, we made 144 arrests. And I need you all to recognize, as he's already talked about, this is not just MPD tips and arrests. This is the Sheriff's Office, this is the State Police, and a lot of times it's agencies outside our region. So of those total arrested, that's 144. So we had 191 tips. 144 people were arrested out of those 191 tips, which means our success rate for tips compared to arrest was 75%. And that's pretty amazing if you ask me. So talking about 2017, trust me, it gets better. 2017 has been a really good year for Crime Stoppers. We've had 108 workable tips. We have a lot of tips that are spam. We're counting the workable tips, the ones that we can actually use and follow up on. So we've had 108 of those tips. And of those tips, we have either arrested or put criminal charges on someone 87 times. So we're looking at 108 tips. Out of those 108 tips, 87 arrests or charges have taken place. That's big. I mean, it's only June, and we've made 87 arrests or charges. That's big. If you break it down by month, we're on pace to do so much more than we did last year. This year's going to be a great year. So if you look at 108 workable tips compared to the 87 arrests or criminal charges, our success rate so far is 81%. That's a great percentage. So Crime Stoppers this year is at 81%. We've made 87 arrests or criminal charges, and at this rate, this is probably going to be one of the best years we've ever had. So with that, I want to say I appreciate everyone's dedication to Crime Stoppers, and I'm going to turn it over to the next person. Thank you all very much.
Well, good morning. I'm excited to be here, and of course you all know the theme for Hopkins County Schools this year is one team, one mission, one community. And just as I look around the room, I think that is just very exemplary of all the agencies that are here. Certainly Crime Stoppers and what they have done for Hopkins County Schools with the See Something, Say Something assembly that we had this year for all middle and high school students was second to none. The kids, the faculty and staff members, everyone would tell you that we have not had a better assembly than what Crime Stoppers was willing to help us with, and we greatly appreciate that. They addressed anti-bullying, we talked about suicide prevention, And so we are just very, very appreciative of that. Also, we continue our partnership with Not in My School and the tips and the teamwork. And so I certainly want to thank MPD and the Sheriff's Department for what you all have done with us in partnering to collab with our SROs. But I want to take this opportunity just to thank everybody here. You know, we are state champions in Hopkins County today with the girls softball team. And I know that this is a little off script, but you know, it is certainly one team, one mission. Our mission is our kids. It is one community. When we come together at the 11th hour, thanks to county government, city government, and pull together a celebration like we had Saturday night for our girls softball team that won state champs. And so, you know, we can't just isolate it to one thing, because truly in Hopkins County, we are on a mission together, and we always are great to reach out to one another and help. And so Crime Stoppers, Not in My School, is just a great example of that. So I want to thank you all, and I want to thank the committee for your all support. I know I came and spoke with you as one of the first things that I did. Tim Thomas gets in my calendar all the time, and so that was one of the first things I did as superintendent. So I thank you all for your vote of confidence in us and what you do for our kids.
Thank you. I think such an organization as this is one of those that gets the citizens involved, and I really appreciate the citizens being involved in such a worthy cause, because we see results that Sergeant Clark just brought to us is one of the things that enhances our government. And I just think when I was looking around Matt and all the organizations, I just think the organizations that are working together so now is just a blessing to our county. We see all the different organizations as far as state police, DEA, ATF, our sheriff's office, city police, and all working together to bring this about and working on all these tips together. So I just thank everybody that's involved. I appreciate you so much for what you're doing for our county and our city. And with that, I'm going to let the next man speak.
Okay.
I want to echo a little bit about what Judge Executive just said. In my nearly 20 years of law enforcement, I haven't seen agencies working together like we are now. And I think Crime Stoppers is a big part of that and fits in along the way and helps make this flow smoothly for everybody. You know, like Judge Executive said, we're working with all agencies across the board, and not just law enforcement agencies, but with the school system. I think we're working with the school system like we never have before. So when all these agencies cooperate and work together, that makes our community stronger. And when I say community stronger, I mean everybody in our community, people that even live outside of, or that work outside and live outside of Hopkins County, and then come back into Hopkins County. I think they're seeing a difference. I think people are talking about it all the time, and I think Crime Stoppers is a vital part of that. The information sharing among agencies, I think with Sergeant Clark and communicating with our office about Crime Stoppers, I think that's probably better than I've ever seen it in the past as well. So, I mean, all this comes together and makes for stronger communities. Crime Stoppers is very important. You know, I've been involved in it for quite a long time with Tim and everybody else in this room that have been part of Crime Stoppers for a long time. And it's vital to law enforcement and vital to the citizens of Hopkins County. I think people need to understand how important it is, and I think the numbers that Sergeant Clark just told us about are outstanding. And I haven't heard those stats that well in a long time. So Crime Stoppers is doing the right thing, and I think the people need to understand how much that does for us here in Hopkins County. Thank you.
For 20 years, two words have come to mind: Vox Populi. Vox Populi, that is voice of the people. And the voice of the people have been heard. The voice of the people speaks through Crime Stoppers. And when we come together with opportunities like this, we see how it's truly important. So many times have changed. However, it goes back to neighbors being neighbors and a community taking a part to stand for the things that are right. And one thing that we see as we all come together at times like this community of Hopkins County, we stand together. Through the good, through the bad, we stand together. That's why we're proud to call this place home. And when you think about Vox Populi, the voice of the people. Never lose your voice. Never forget to speak. Speak for those that can't speak for themselves. Listen to those that are oftentimes not heard. Shout it from the mountaintops the things that are right. Stand for right and resist the things that are wrong. And that's the mission, that's the vision of Crime Stoppers. And that's why it's yet so strong. Even though we see times changing, I've said it several times, here in Hopkins County, we live in a bubble. I'm thankful for that bubble. And we have worked hard to keep that bubble from popping. And I am confident that in upcoming years, we will make that bubble stronger than it's ever been before. My last words are these. We're not perfect. In this county, we're not perfect. But one thing that I can say is we will try. We'll make mistakes along the way, but we're going to keep pressing forward. Thank everyone for what we're doing. Let us remember what we stand for. Let us remember why we're so special. And let us never forget the power of one voice. Thank you. Take up an offer.
On behalf of the City of Madisonville and all of its residents, I want to thank Tim and all of the Board of Crime Stoppers for the important work that they do. They truly do represent the best of community partnerships that it takes to make Madisonville the best town on earth and to make Hopkins County the best county on earth. And so we really appreciate everything that all the folks in this room, the commitment that they have to Crime Stoppers and to making them continue to work for our law enforcement community. Thank you very much. I have a proclamation I'd like to read. It says, whereas Crime Stoppers of Hopkins County has served our community for over 20 years, and whereas the goal of Crime Stoppers of Hopkins County is to help in the prevention of crime and to assist in the apprehension of criminals, and whereas Crime Stoppers has organized the Not in My School program in the middle and high schools and has established the Neighborhood Watch program with active neighborhood watch groups in the city, and whereas Crime Stoppers has received over 3,000 calls since its inception in 1989, and the anonymous tip line has led to arrest in major drug crimes and robberies throughout Hopkins County, and whereas Crime Stoppers of Hopkins County is recognized by the Kentucky State Homeland Security, now therefore be it resolved that I, David W. Jackson, Mayor of the City of Madisonville, Kentucky, do hereby proclaim the month of June 2017 as Hopkins County Crime Stoppers Month in the City of Madisonville, Kentucky, and urge all citizens to consider contributing their resources to improving our city through community service and volunteerism. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks to each one that is here today to help us in our efforts to kick off our Crime Stoppers Month. And hopefully during this month, we'll be able to bring more awareness of the program and what it means to not only the community of Hopkins County, but on a state level as well. We continue the efforts of helping to try to fight crime and to do what we can to make our community better. It's up to us, as been said earlier, to do what we can in law enforcement and as regular citizens of our community. I do want to also recognize and glad to have with us Mayor Arthur Johnson of the City of Arlington, who supports our efforts in Crime Stoppers each year, and also to all the mayors and police chiefs from around the communities as well. And we hope that together we can make a difference. And I think that we are. And thank you for your presence today. And remember, crime doesn't pay, but we do. Thank you.